Bulls won 6 titles in Chicago. Larry Bird was the greatest player ever. Bird. Magic and Kareem had to share the spotlight, but you talk about Magic far more than you talk about Worthy and Kareem. Nobody talk about Kenny Smith, Sam Cassell, but you talk about it. You talk about the Dream. It's Tim Duncan's show with Ginobili and Parker. It ain't Ginobili, Parker, and Duncan. And, when you're the star of the show, Kobe and Shaq shared the spotlight. And the reason you talked about them because they had their issues, but Shaq won 3 Finals MVPs when him and Kobe were together. So when you're the man, you get to shine. And let's not forget, everybody always talk like this is another problem I have with the NFL today. Everybody's talking about how LeBron James. You always talk about LeBron James always needing help. This guy didn't need help, and that guy didn't need help, and blah, blah, blah. But what are you hearing today? When you hear me later speak about how Tom Brady all of a sudden is needing help. But you kill LeBron for that. See, we're being bamboozled, is my point. We're being bamboozled. And another question is, does Kevin Durant need to just shut the hell up, man? I like KD, man, but for a dude who made a burner account and he's super sensitive and he's always coming off as the angry guy, does he really have any room to criticize? Because he hasn't been the poster boy for getting it in, if you ask me. That's just me. He hasn't been the poster boy of standing up and being who you need to be when it counts. I just don't see it that way. Maybe he has been, but Kevin Durant is awful sensitive when you ask him about things, but when he has no problem speaking about other people and their situations. This is my only issue with Kevin Durant. So does Kevin Durant need to just start saying no comment, or does he have a point? He does have a point, but should he not be making that point? And speaking of him and making a point, the question I also have is, has the recipe been put out to beat the Golden State Warriors? Because the Golden State Warriors are losing to teams that in a normal cycle they would not lose to. And I don't know if it's shocking to you, but it's shocking to a lot of people. And it's just an interesting situation that when you have Kevin Durant on your team, when you have Stephen Curry on your team, when you have Draymond Green and Klay Thompson on your team, should you be losing at the clip that they're losing at? That's all I'm asking. Because it looks as if when these guys are on the court, they should be unstoppable. In our recent history of seeing them, they should be unstoppable. Now, don't get me wrong, they are at the top of their division. They're still one of the better teams record-wise in the National Basketball Association. They're number 3 in the West at 23-13. But let's not forget, just three or four short years ago, this was a team that didn't lose but 9 games in an entire NBA season. And now they've lost 13 before January 1st. What's the problem in Golden State? I keep hearing about Klay Thompson and his shot being off. I keep hearing about that. People have no problem talking to me about Klay Thompson and his shot being off. Well, Klay, when you talk about Klay Thompson, his shot is not working, and da-da-da-da-da. And then you got Steph Curry. People saying he might be league MVP, and we keep hearing about Draymond Green ever since the argument. He's not the old Draymond Green. I'm about to say something that is almost blasphemy. Should they trade Kevin Durant? Steve Kerr my man Big L said Steve Kerr may have to do some coaching for once in his coaching career. Big L, you about to be mad at me. This is when we start to fight. Should they trade Kevin Durant? That's a real question. Should the Golden State Warriors trade Kevin Durant? The reason I say that is this. Kevin Durant likes to play isolation ball. which is derived from Kobe Bryant, which is derived from Michael Jordan, which is derived from Allen Iverson. You may well be correct, Big L. Steve Kerr may have to change the offense, but I can personally draw a line directly to the point of Steve Kerr's, the Golden State Warriors and Klay Thompson's shooting woes to more ISO ball. Because when you are not in rhythm, you will not hit the shots that you normally do. He's getting more shots, but he's shooting them at a lower clip. Which leads me to believe they are not executing the offense the way they used to. If you're not executing the offense the way you used to, there's a reason. If that is that reason, Kevin Durant. Because if he's playing more ISO and he's getting you the ball when he thinks you need it versus the way you've come up playing, that in essence could be a problem. What are your thoughts on that? Anybody can respond. Don't all respond at the same time. KD and 2 other Golden State Warriors are leaving. Nostradamus Big L. I don't think so, Big L. People keep saying that Klay and Draymond will leave. I believe that you're 50% right with your prediction. I believe Kevin Durant will exit this team and Draymond and Klay will stay just to prove that they are part of the solution versus part of the problem. They will also be foolish enough to give the hometown discount. And I think that'll be another problem. But it ain't my money to spend, but I'm not taking less money for nothing. Being comfortable is one thing. And then I'm a firm believer, once you get past $25 million, even though $40 million sounds way better, I don't think it's a gigantic thing. So I do believe your man, Big L, you call him King, KD. I think he's the problem. Because he's even spoken out saying, man, people scouting us and this, that, and the third. I just think, personally, that he's the problem more than the solution. If they win 2 NBA titles with Kevin Durant, hell yeah. Is Kevin Durant arguably the best player in the league right now? Hell yeah. You can make the argument for him being the very best player in the National Basketball Association today. But is he what they need is the question. Because if you want to play ISO ball on a team, the greatest from South Central is in the building. Thank you for joining the fun. But if he wants to play ISO ball and they've had more success distributing motion offense and getting everybody involved, who's to say that that's not the way to go? I'm just asking a question. The greatest, I just asked the question, should the Golden State Warriors consider trading Kevin Durant, seeing how he wants to play more ISO ball and they've been wildly successful doing it their way? Is his way a problem more than a solution? Why is it okay to keep giving the Golden State Warrior a discount? Is no, hell no. Hey, bro. No, Big L. I'm not saying it. I think that's the, hey, bro, Big L, maybe you heard me incorrectly. I am never going to be the dude sitting on these airways telling any athlete in the history of the civilized world to take $1 less. Now, if you want to take $1 less, I'm not going to begrudge you. But me personally, I'm not trying to give any team in the history of the world a discount. Ever. That's not my bag, man. That's not my get down, Big L. I'm not taking a hometown. Dude, we are living in the world where the dude who owned the Bulls once said the biggest mistake he ever made was paying Michael Jeffrey Jordan. The biggest mistake you ever made was paying Jordan $30 million. Well, look, you know what, dog? If you would have tore up his contract back in the day and paid him some respectable money, he wouldn't have been trying to hold your feet to the fire and get everything he could those last 2 years for the $66 million. So it looks like the greatest agrees with me. That's what I'm saying. He may be the problem in Golden State. Now, Big L, you're right. Maybe Steve Kerr needs to coach more. But I just have a problem with, I mean, we need to run more ISO ball. This means you, in my opinion, you are trying to showcase your abilities versus win. Now, if you're trying to showcase your abilities, maybe you need to move somewhere where you can showcase your abilities. Because guess what? We don't kill you for it, but you are the dude who you are the guy who lost a 3-1 lead. You. I don't want to hear about no damn Russell. I don't want to hear about none of that. When it's your team, you the man. If the Bulls would have blew it, Jordan would have choked. If LeBron would have did it, they probably would have had to deport his ass. If Kobe would have did it, they'd have killed him too. You lost a 3-1 lead in the conference finals, bro. Maybe your way don't work. And when it was your way, you couldn't get it done. You know, we can wax poetically about how great you are, and that's cool because I'm one of the people who think you one of the greats. But I also know that you really not that guy when it really, really counts. Because if you were watching the finals closely last year, the conference finals and the NBA finals, Klay Thompson stopped every run when it came. Yeah, every play does come to isolation ball, but question, Big L. How did the Golden State Warriors win the NBA titles the last 3 years? By moving the ball, by making everybody accessible, and making everybody and their uncle comfortable in their system. That's how they won. He has the right to get his money if they know he's not coming back, then yes. If he wants to go for a 3-peat and they want to keep him going back to back, that's worth. No, I'm not saying he shouldn't get it, the greatest. I'm saying if I'm him, I need a Supermax deal, the $40 million joint that Steph get it. Pay Klay, and keep it moving. That's what I say, man. Pay Klay, pay Draymond, and hey, the greatest. I would go as far as to say, my man, the greatest, chiming in. Thank you for chiming in, brother. I would go as far as to say, trade KD and get as many parts as you can in return. See if you can get you a new Iguodala. Livingston is still good. Shout out to H-Rap for remember the man, Livingston man. Shout out to me, because I always call that boy Singleton for whatever reason. But I say retool and get better parts around you versus trying to have the very best. Because your system was working with very good, not the very best. Of course it worked the last 2 years with the very best. But if the very best wants to step outside of your blueprint, maybe it's time for the very best to move on. And with that being said, let me move on to phase 2 of my
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
The top 9, or the Supreme Court of 6 men. Thank you for the applause, Red. Thank you. You know, I'm retarded when it comes to my man Livingston's name. I don't know why I want to call that boy Chris Singleton. I have no idea. I'm retarded when it comes to that. The number 9 guy on my list was, rest in peace, the great Roy Topley. Number 8 is my man Eddie Johnson, Westinghouse Warriors, home of the Warriors. We never quit. Number 7 is Manu Ginobili, and number 6 started at number 6. The big homie, the man, the homie, Big Illinois' favorite ball player in the history of the game, is his hero. Is his basketball hero, Anthony Mason. Anthony Mason was serious. He played defense. He controlled the ball. He did his thing. I got to give it up to the big Mace, man. The dude was hitting. He was getting you a rebound if you needed. He was playing some defense if you needed on smalls, on mediums and bigs. He wasn't sticking no smalls, but he was doing his thing. He could break a press. The man taking it through his leg. He was too big to just actually take it through his leg, so he had to lift his leg up to get it through his leg. But that was dope either way. And low key, famous hip hop moment. Anthony Mason was in Diamond D's video, The Best Kept Secret. Dude playing basketball, that's Anthony Mason. Big ups to Anthony Mason. I'm giving him way more props than he probably should deserve, but I got to give it up to my man, Anthony Mason. Next up on my list is Mr. Offense. Came into the league as Chicago Bulls, right out of the city of Seattle. The man is unstoppable offensively. He can drive, he can shoot,